What's up, homies? Today we're going to be looking at TOSDR. This is a website where it gives you a quick digest of the terms of service, and we're just going to see how awesome the terms of service are for our favorite companies. And for any employers watching, we're going to go over this real quick. I just passed the Network Plus. I'm currently working on the Security Plus. This is my little. I'm working on the Security Plus. I'm having fun. I'm getting on websites. Anyways, we're going to look at this website. We're going to get a quick digest of some pretty popular websites, and we're going to see how bad the terms of service are for some very popular websites. So let's just get into it because I don't like talking. Well, actually, I love talking. There's a reason I have a YouTube channel. Anyways, so terms of service didn't read. That's the website that we're on today. TOSDR.org if you'd like to go on. I'll put a link in the description because, I mean, it's pretty easy to just do that. Anyways, terms of service DR, we're going to gives you a quick digest of all of the privacy policies and terms of service, and then it grades them for you. Grades them on how evil they are. And E is for evil, and it's the worst you can get. It's not actually for evil. I made that up, but E is the worst grade you can get. So just about every major large company has a grade of E and has some really cool stuff that you can look at. The service can view your browser history. Deleted videos aren't deleted. These things are this, that, and the other. We're going to go through some funny ones. We're going to go through some terrifying ones. Those are kind of synonymous in this point. Anyway, so the first one we're going to look at here is going to be Facebook. So the cool thing is that it gives you bullet points of all the parts of the terms of service that are, and it gives you a quick read through of them. So we have our really bads, which are these, circles with the little X'd out circles. And we have our thumbs downs for the things that are bad, but they're not like, you're not going to see them and go. But, and then, you get down here and the greens are, these are good. These are good things. We mess with this. We like this. We're glad that this is in the privacy policy. And then this gray is not yet rated, or it's kind of just, okay, I'm glad we have that. Sure, for sure. Yeah, it's probably good, but, could be bad as well, such as, no web crawling. Maybe you see that as a bad thing. I don't know. Anyways, but as we can tell here, Facebook has, one or two mess ups. And cool thing about this service, if we want to see this service can read your private messages, and we want to know more about that, we hit this little drop down, and it'll give us a slightly more descriptive, in pretty comprehensible wording, pretty normal wording, what that means. And if you want even more information, you can go over to this edit button and we can see the exact wording from the data policy that was used to come up with this plain word description and this kind of general explanation. The service can read your private messages. All these things kind of mean the same thing, but you can get more verbose as you go down. And you can review these security policies and judge for yourself if you want to accept them. And for a lot of them, you don't have a choice. Uh, Facebook has a lot of problems. And the next one that we're going to go through is Reddit, because Reddit's kind of funny and a little terrifying because of this one right here. You sign away your moral rights. Um, and this one's descriptive. Moral rights are rights to creators of literary, dramatic, musical, or artistic works, as well as the directors of films. The moral rights include the right of attribution, the right to have a work published anonymously or pseudo-anonymously, and the right to the integrity of the work, the preserving of the blah 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 blah. You get it. You can read it. If you want to see this, pause to read. You sign away your moral rights to a lot of your own works. Terrible. The service can also read your private messages, so any of y'all who use Reddit and are privately messaging things that you shouldn't be, keep that in mind. And then, of course, we have a few bad things, not nearly as many as Facebook, which, goodness. But we have a few problematic headings here. Um, that one's great, and then, let's go to our next one. I just thought you signing away your moral rights is really funny, and I don't want this video to be longer than 10 minutes. I want it to be pretty quick. So we're gonna go to YouTube. YouTube's popular. Everyone uses YouTube. The service can view your browser history. Deleted videos are not really deleted. These are kind of things that you would just kind of know. Maybe you didn't know that it can view your browser history, but there's another reason to do what I do, and have uBlock origin. Not that that's going to stop it, but I do clear my history. Of course, third-party cookies for advertising gathers information about you through third parties. Reduction of legal period for cause of action. May use your personal information for marketing. Service can license user content to third parties. You get the gist. This is the idea. This is kind of what we're at here. This is what TOSDR is. If you're ever like scared of a website or their privacy policy, you can go on TOSDR to see what they're doing with your information. And Amazon, shockingly, doesn't have any glaring red flags, and they actually don't have very many, like, really, they don't have any many bad things either. Now, if that's because of AWS or whatever, I mean, third-party cookies used for advertising is kind of just the industry standard at this point. But, you know, Amazon, look at that. That's beautiful. Now we're going to get over to everyone's favorite, which I'm hoping you've been eyeballing, is Google. Google. Google has a long entry on TOSDR. They have a few good things, and they have a few things that are up to user interpretation. A lot of user interpretation. So, they store data on you even if you did not interact with the service. Wow, that's cool. Your identity is used in ads that are shown to other users. This service can read your private emails. Hey, so any of my Gmail users, myself included, uh, Gmail can read your private emails. So start getting on them email servers, start making those. Uh, the service can view your browser history. I mean, obviously. And the service holds on to content that you've deleted. So those are all pretty glaring red flags. This one here is kind of pretty notable. Reading your private emails is not fun. Uh, and of course, we have a few of these problems. Not as many as Facebook. Actually, probably about the same or more. Maybe a little less. About the same though, of these bads. But we have some goods. We have some goods in here. You can opt out of targeting advertising. This is a new thing, by the way. And free help desk. Non-exclusive use of your content. Uh, they do they do put a date on their last update of their terms. That's crazy that that's up to user interpretation. And of course, they have things that are up to user interpretation. This could be bad or good depending on who you are. And the service collects your IP address for location use. Fun stuff. I mean, you can really just mark any one of these randomly on if it's going to be good for you or bad for you. The service prohibits sending user chain letters, junk mail, spam, or any unsolicited. That's good. That's probably a good thing. But hey, TOSDR, check out this website. I thought this website was cool, and I wanted to talk about it. This video is kind of silly, but I wanted to get a video out. It's been 4 weeks, and hey, next video, maybe we're gonna talk about the Network Plus because I just passed that, and I'm gonna come up with a PowerPoint, and we're gonna talk about networking and fun stuff and the cool stuff that I did to pass the Network Plus. Thank y'all, and I'll see you probably sometime later this week. Merry Christmas. Solve your CTFs. Wait for me to drop some CTF videos. That's going to be another thing that we're going to do. It's all fun. We're practicing the Security Plus. We're doing CTFs. We're doing projects. Hashtag security. Hashtag IT. Hashtag bye.